Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel Munoz, and the observation topic that I decided to do was about teacher feedback and student progress. Feedback is an indispensable aspect of the lesson that cannot be taken lightly. Physical education teachers should constantly provide students with feedback not only about their performance, but also related to their behavior, management, and non-skill related factors. Positive and corrective feedback development for each student. When students are provided with feedback about their performance, and they can reflect on it and apply it in order to become more competent and better their overall performance. Feedback also promotes the success of each student because it can be specific based on the individual needs of each student, and it can also be provided to the whole class in general. Providing feedback is also part of being an effective teacher because we can help our students grow not only in the psychomotor domain but also in the cognitive and affective aspect as well. Feedback can help us meet the daily objectives of our lessons all around the three domains because it helps promote a higher success rate among students. The purpose of my research was to examine and evaluate how providing students with effective, positive, and corrective feedback through the lesson can contribute to their individual growth in the skill and ability aspect. Reflecting and evaluating how positive and corrective feedback can be a significant factor in our students' progress will help us understand the value of providing feedback and help us become more efficient educators. So, in more simple terms, the overall purpose of this project was to assess how the feedback that I provide to the students can help them make progress, because feedback is an instrument that can be used by us to give specific directions to students, not specifically directions, but corrections about their performance that they can apply later on in a different setting and help them be better at that skill. The research question is, why is it important to provide students with corrective and positive feedback in order to provide a positive and effective learning experience? So going back to answer that question, it is important to provide feedback because it helps students make progress. And when students make constant progress over the lesson, that shows that we are doing a good job as a teacher, because the whole point is to create physical, competent, and literate individuals that are going to obtain and maintain a healthy lifestyle later on in life. So the systematic observation tool that I used was the teacher feedback form. I used this instrument to collect the data involving the feedback provided by the teacher throughout the 3 lessons that I taught. Also, this form was also used to examine the number of times that student names were used during each lesson. After the data was collected from the 3 different lessons, the data was analyzed using different graphs to make it easier to read the result obtained from the data collection. So a little bit about the 3 lessons. The first lesson that I thought was about soccer. The second one was about frisbee, and the third one was about badminton. Throughout these 3 lessons, the class size was different. It went all the way from 25 to around 29 students, and also the grade was mixed for some of them, between 9th graders and 10th graders. The teaching style that was used was command, practice, inclusion, exploration, and competitive. So after analyzing the data and going over the graphs and the results obtained, the results were that positive skill group feedback was the most implemented type of feedback throughout all 3 lessons combined. Also, that corrective management individual feedback was the least implemented type of feedback throughout all the 3 lessons combined. And also, throughout the 3 lessons, the number of students named used remained above 10, which was good because it indicates that teacher cares about his students. And also, based on the data and charts, I need to focus more on increasing the amount of management feedback that I provide to the student individually and as a group. So as we can see here in the charts and the table, The feedback that was least used or implemented during class was the corrective management individual feedback and the corrective management group feedback. I think this was because students were already used to the routine and there was not really need to emphasize a lot of management or behavior throughout the lesson. And I also try to focus a lot on more individual and group feedback, either if it was positive or about correcting a skill to better the student's performance. Because as we can see in the table, the four higher numbers of the totals include positive individual feedback, positive group feedback, and corrective skill individual feedback and corrective skill group feedback, which at the end of the day, that's the one that we want to implement the most, because that's what's gonna help our students grow in the physical domain aspect, because they're gonna reflect on it and be able to become a more competent movers. So for the reflection, after completing this project and reflecting about what makes an effective physical education teacher, I have learned that as teachers, there are always things that we can improve in our teaching. As teachers, we should always reflect and adapt our teaching to promote a higher rate of success and learning, and to also address the diverse students' needs in our classroom. Providing feedback is a key factor that can help us target the diversity of learning needs by providing feedback about different domains. It can help improve skills, behavior, and contribute to the overall student growth and development. So after conducting this research, the step of action, or what I will continue to do, or put more emphasis on, are the following. So based on these findings, to enhance my growth as a teacher, I will continue to consistently use positive and corrective feedback throughout the lesson to contribute to student learning and progress on the skill and level of ability of the student. Also, I will continue to focus more on the individual positive and corrective feedback, because according to the data, this type of students were among the top used throughout the 3 lessons combined. Also, I believe that individual feedback, whether it is positive or corrective, is very important, because it targets the specific weakness or strengths of each individual student, and it promotes a positive learning environment where all students feel valued and can make consistent progress based on my teaching and feedback. In conclusion, providing students with corrective individual feedback and positive feedback is a factor that plays a major role into developing more physically competent and confident students. Feedback should be a constant in our lessons, because it helps students reflect about their level of skill and become better by applying the feedback that we provide them based on their performance. Thank you.